What would happen if Majin Vegeta defeated Majin Buu? Now, we all know in Dragon Ball, Majin Vegeta, after his battle with Goku, he goes to take on Majin Buu by himself. And he realized everything he's doing on him is not stopping because his regeneration and his stamina. Majin Buu is pretty much taking a pummeling but keeps on coming back. So Vegeta tries one final thing. He does his final explosion, which ends up wiping himself out along with Majin Buu. But Majin Buu is later on seen to regenerate just from like smoke and everything and still comes back, and Vegeta pretty much sacrificed himself, but Majin Buu is still around. But what would have happened if Majin Buu wasn't able to come back and Vegeta was successful with his attack? Now, what would the story leave off at this point? So at this point, we'll probably have Goku waking up and realizing that Vegeta sacrificed himself and actually took Majin Buu with him. At this point, Piccolo would have taken out Babidi the same way, and the threat would have been over with. At this point, Gohan would have probably woke up, if he already got taken by the Supreme Kai to the realm of the Kais. At this point, all this could have been possible as well. But the thing is, where would the story leave off at this point? So, one, a lot of changes will happen. We wouldn't get the fusion of Vegito. We'll never get the Pataras at that point. We probably wouldn't even get Gohan to go and train with the Supreme Kai and try to learn how to use the Z sword. And at this point, he probably would never train with it. The sword probably never broke when Goku got there. And at this point, we probably wouldn't get old Supreme Kai. It's still a possibility that he could have probably gone over there and trained to try to get the sword if they didn't know if Majin Buu was defeated or not. But they probably would have, so it probably would have defeated the purpose. But the thing with this, Goku would have woke up, and at this point, they probably would have tried to go find the Dragon Balls to revive Vegeta back to life, and those people that was probably taken out by Vegeta during the tournament. And ultimately, we don't know if Goku and Vegeta would have had a chance to get their rematch by the time Vegeta was wished back. We're not sure. That's still a possibility in the air. And ultimately, we would have missed out on pretty much Gotenks, Vegito, because Goku would have had no need to train, Goten and Trunks to do fusion, so we wouldn't have gotten Gotenks. And Goku Super Saiyan 3 would have still been technically hidden at this point because he would never had a reason to even use it against Majin Buu, which was still stray Vegeta along of him thinking that he was close to Goku's power at the time of their fight. So a lot of things would have pretty much happened. Now, there's a good chance Vegeta could have stayed in the afterlife along with Goku so he can go train as well with Goku and probably experience things different, because he probably would have been able to redeem himself probably by him doing that sacrifice. But then again, through all his misdeeds that he did in selfishness, he probably wouldn't have been able to go to where Goku go to. But who knows? Goku probably requested Vegeta to come along and got him in and have him come and train with him in the afterworld with King Kai. This has been Vegeta's first time actually meeting King Kai as a possibility too. And this could have led to him getting some training from King Kai and learning some stuff as well early on, instead of just only getting training from someone like Whis. So a lot of things would have definitely happened that was different. We would have get no Oob. There would have been no, Hercule and Majin Buu friendship and stuff like that going on. It would have been a lot of different things that would have played out way different. And most likely Goku would have remained dead after his time was up on Earth. So there would have been no reason for him to get his life from the old Supreme Kai and come back to life. So at this point, Goku would have remained dead, and it would just been only, Gohan on the planet if they didn't wish Vegeta back, which most likely Bulma would have definitely wanted to go try and wish Vegeta back to life. So there's a good chance Vegeta would have came back, and things would have continued on where the 7 years where you would have had Gohan pretty much stop training the same way. Goku would have been dead and been gone. There would have been no Oob. So in short, this wouldn't been able to lead to things like Dragon Ball GT or even the end of Z, where the tournament happens again, and at this point, there's a person like Oob who's reincarnated, and because Goku wouldn't have got a chance to fight Majin Buu to see how strong he was. And seeing that Goku had Super Saiyan 3 and Vegeta was able to take him out, Goku would have probably felt like he's stronger than Majin Buu. So it really wouldn't made any difference for him at this point. So Goku would just remain in the afterlife, continue training, and eventually probably come back for the next tournament if they don't get to fight in that tournament, and probably reveal Super Saiyan 3 later on. And Goku probably would have had more time to master Super Saiyan 3 in the afterlife. But once again, then again, with Goku having a spirit body, he would have never got accustomed to Super Saiyan 3 in his real life body if he was to come back to life at this point, and would have still been the same results. But in the afterlife, he probably would have got even stronger and stronger, because without no limitation in the afterlife, Goku would have been super strong with having much more stamina and durability, and able to pretty much just power up and keep on pushing himself past his limits. So he probably would have gained a certain level of power that he couldn't get while he was alive, pretty much at this point. So these are all different things that probably would have happened, and things that wouldn't have happened. Like I said, we wouldn't have gotten Dragon Ball GT that happened in that continuity. We probably wouldn't get the end of Z, where the tournament with Goku fighting Oob in the tournament. He probably would have just came back and looked to probably spar with Vegeta or Gohan to see if they've been keeping up with their training, which Gohan most likely wouldn't have. And Vegeta probably would just feel a little bit different about himself by finally getting the victory over a big bad and saving everyone and kind of redeeming himself, and feeling like he finally caught up to Goku in his pretty much humility at this point. But other than that, it wouldn't be that big of a difference. It would have been peace. There wouldn't really been any other threat levels that's happening during that time, except for possibility if we're talking about Super having future Trunks come back to have them fight against Goku Black, which that would have been a whole other thing. Or if we got Beerus and we searching for the Super Saiyan God and coming to Earth, or even just going to King Kai's planet the same way looking for Goku. Now, there's a good chance that Goku around this time could have been even more stronger because of him being in his spirit body and staying gone for the rest of the remaining time frame, and pretty much getting a huge power up at this point from just being dead and training, instead of him training in the, having being alive at this point. So a lot of things could have happened different depending on, the story arcs and everything like that. And at this point, it probably would have led to a thing where Goku could have fight Beerus and still wouldn't stand a chance with him. But at this point, if they go to Earth and he goes to, fight Vegeta or somebody over there, and realizing they still don't stand a chance against him at this point, and Goku wouldn't be able to go down to Earth because he was still being in spirit body, unless they do like a one-day visit for him to go down there. But for Beerus, it probably wouldn't make a sense for them to send him down for one day to go fight Beerus. So yeah, a lot of stuff would have probably ended different, and Beerus probably would have just wiped the Earth out at this point. So who knows?